Hello everyone. So in this video, as I already told you in the previous video, that we will be discussing about aggregates, the fine and the coarse aggregates, right? So first of all, I would like to tell you that how we are moving actually, right? So first of all, we have discussed now in this module we will be discussing about concrete, right? So what a concrete has? So concrete has cement, which acts as a binder. What else it has? It has aggregates. Aggregates are of two types. First one is coarse aggregates, and the second one is fine aggregates. Coarse aggregates and fine aggregates, right? The third thing it has water, right? That is how, if you mix all the three, you get concrete. Plus, if you want some specialized concrete, you can also add some admixture also. Mixtures also, right? So we have discussed in detail about cement, right? Now we will be discussing about aggregates. In aggregates, if as far as the gate point of view is concerned, we don't have to go in much detail, right? Now then again, water. I will be discussing about water in this video itself because water is very brief as far as gate point of view is concerned, right? Then admixture, again I will be discussing this in this video itself, right? So in this video, mainly we will be discussing about aggregates, and in brief, I will also be talking about water and admixtures. Correct? Now, let us talk about aggregates. So about aggregates. Now the question is, sir, why do we need aggregates, and why is it important to study the nature, the behavior, the properties of aggregates? So that's a very good question, very important also, right? So I would like to tell you that in cement, 80% of the volume, around almost 80% of the volume is acquired by aggregates, right? So in cement concrete, 80% of the volume, of the total volume, is acquired by aggregates. Now just imagine if 80% of the volume, capturing of 80% of volume, aggregates are responsible. So if you have a good quality of aggregates, then your concrete will be stronger, right? So that is why good quality of aggregates are required for a good type of concrete, right? Because 80% of the volume, or you can, in other words, you can say that the main matrix of concrete is due to aggregates, right? So aggregates, we have two types. The first one is coarse aggregates. The second type is fine aggregates. So we have two types of aggregates. First one is the coarse aggregates. The second one is the fine aggregates. Now the question is, so what is the difference between the two? Okay. Now let us see the difference. As far as the coarse aggregates are concerned, you must have studied the scene analysis in geotech also. So coarse aggregates are those aggregates which cannot pass the 4.75 mm seam. It means that the diameter of the particles is greater than or equal to 4.75 mm. As far as the fine aggregates are concerned, the diameter, this is basically the mean diameter. The mean diameter of the particles, it is less than 4.75 mm. So if you have less than 4.75 mm, what type of aggregates you will have? You will have sand, you will have clay, you will have silt, and other particles which are lesser than 4.75 mm. As far as the coarse aggregates are concerned, you will have gravels here, you will have boulders here, right? Obviously we do not need big boulders for concrete, that's a different case. But as far as the concrete is concerned, general concrete is concerned, so gravels will be required, right? So these are the two types of aggregates, coarse aggregates and fine aggregates. Now the next thing is, these aggregates have a few properties, because some can be angular, some can be elongated, some can be rounded, right? So we have different type of properties, different type of aggregates among these two also, right? But broadly classifying, we have three categories of aggregates. So the first category of aggregate is lightweight aggregates. Lightweight aggregates. The second category is medium weight. Medium weight. And the third one is heavy aggregates. Okay. This classification, this broad classification is for concrete purpose only, designing of concrete only, right? So we have lightweight aggregates, we have medium weight aggregates, and we have the heavyweight aggregates. Okay. Now, one more important thing which has been asked many times in some small examination, it's a theoretical question, that which is the IS code? The IS code which is used for aggregates. IS code for aggregates. Okay. So the IS code for IS code used for aggregates which are used in concrete is IS 383 1970. This is also important because this question has been asked in small examinations, in theoretical questions. Okay. Now the second thing is, which I have already told you, in broadly classifying aggregates are three types: lightweight, medium weight, and heavyweight. As far as the lightweight aggregates are concerned, it has the examples are expanded clays, okay, shales, slag, pumice, cinder, etc. You don't need to remember, right? It is just a brief that these are the type of aggregates. The medium weight aggregates, they are in the natural form, right? Like sand, gravel, crushed rock, etc. These are used for normal structures. The lightweight aggregates are used for lightweight structures. Okay. Now, considering the heavyweight aggregate, this question was asked a few years back in some examination. This was a theoretical question that for radioactive structures, for example, there is a nuclear power plant. Okay, the core of the nuclear power plant is made up of which type of aggregate? So it is basically made up of heavyweight aggregates, right? So this question was asked few years back. I guess it was some basic state level PSC exam. Okay, so this question was asked for heavyweight concrete. Okay, now as far as the shape of the aggregates is concerned, right? So the aggregates have been classified into four types. The first one is rounded aggregates. So this question was asked in ESE, that the aggregates which are found in river or sea beds is of which type? So it is of type of rounded aggregates, right? The second type of aggregate is the irregular aggregates. Like rounded aggregates are like this, almost rounded, right? The irregular aggregates are like this aggregates, this shape, right? The example are pit sand, sands found in pits, and gravel, right? Third one is angular aggregates, very important. The shape of the angular aggregates is like this. It has well-defined vertices, you can say, right? It has well-defined corners like this. Okay. The last one is the flaky aggregate. So flaky means you can say flat, in which the thickness is very small as compared to the length of the aggregate, right? So flaky aggregates are very thin aggregates like this. I am showing the side view. So very thin aggregates and long aggregates, right? So very thin aggregates, right? The example is laminated rocks, right? So these are the classification of aggregates. This is the general classification, and this classification is based on the shape of aggregates. Again, there is no such numerical here as far as the gate point of view is concerned. But as far as the theoretical point of view is concerned, a lot of questions have been asked in a lot of examinations. Till now, from this topic, not even a single question has been asked in gate examination, theoretical question, right? But in other examinations, they have been asked. So it is a chance, it is a probability that if some theoretical question comes, it can be from this portion in gate examination, coming gate examinations, right? Okay. So this is the classification of aggregates. Now the next thing which I want to tell you, that for example, you have a concrete structure, right? Or you can say that you have laid concrete in some formwork. Then in the whole matrix, which part plays which role? Okay, so I will just draw a small diagram and you will understand each and everything. So this is a small diagram. Let us say that this is 1 meter cube of concrete. Let us say this is 1 meter cube of concrete. Okay, this is a formwork and you have laid concrete over it. So these are the aggregates. These are the coarse aggregates. Coarse aggregates actually form the matrix of concrete, right? So I will write it. The coarse aggregate, they form the matrix of concrete. Matrix of concrete. So coarse aggregates form the matrix of concrete. Along with coarse aggregates, you also have fine aggregates, right? Now, what the fine aggregates will do? Actually, you know that, let's say these are the coarse aggregates. So in between coarse aggregate, there is a lot of empty space. So you can say there are a lot of voids. So the fine aggregates, they will fill these voids. The fine aggregates will fill these voids. These are the fine aggregates. Okay, it means that the fine aggregates, they act as a filler, right? The fine aggregates, they act as a filler material. The fine aggregates act as a filler material. Okay, so fine aggregate is in between the coarse aggregates. Simple. These are fine aggregates. Now, without the help of cement, these coarse aggregates and fine aggregates, they cannot be together, right? So what cement will do? Cement will act as a material of cohesion and adhesion. So what is cohesion? Co means with same particles. Adhesion means with different particles. Okay, so cohesion, it is with same particles. And adhesion, it is with different particles. Clear? So the cement, it will act as a binding material for the coarse as well as the fine aggregate. So it will bind these particles, the coarse as well as the fine. So that is how the cement matrix, or you can say the concrete matrix, is formed. First of all, I am taking a 1 meter cube block diagram. So these are the coarse aggregates. These smaller one are the fine aggregates, and in between we have the binding material as a cement as a binding material. Okay, so that is how the structure of a 1 meter cube concrete looks like. Okay, in next now we will be discussing about the properties of these aggregates which are used in concrete. Have certain properties. Okay, the first property is strength, right? Now strength means that at what load the aggregate will break. Okay, and the load should not be an impactful load. It should be a gradual load. Okay, so there is a proper experiment for that. I'm not going in detail discussing that experiment, but a good aggregate should have a good strength, right? The second thing is durability. Durability means that up to how much time the aggregate can sustain the environmental conditions. Okay, for durability we have a few tests. One is Smith test and another one is acid test. Okay, I'm not going in details. You will be studying all these things in construction materials. Okay, but for durability we have two tests. One is the Smith test and the one is the acid test. Okay, and durability means up to how much time the aggregate can sustain or it can resist the environmental conditions. For example, let us say you have an aggregate, okay, and the environmental condition, let's say they are salty or they are, let's say, acidic. It's a costly. Let's say it is a salty condition. If the aggregate will disproper or it will dissolve in the surrounding salts, I will say it is not durable. But if it can sustain or it can resist the outside environment, I will say it is a durable aggregate. Okay. Now impact. Impact test. In impact test, you do not apply a gradual loading, you apply a sudden loading, right? Impact strength or resistance to impact, both are the same thing. Abrasion resistance, right? For abrasion resistance, we have Dowell apparatus, Dowell attrition apparatus. Okay, abrasion means abrasion actually checks the hardness of aggregate. For example, let us say you have an aggregate. For much easier thing, let us say this is a marker. In simple terms, in the simplest meaning, I'm just explaining you that. Let us say I have a marker. Now, if I apply my nails, okay, if I try to scratch it, if the surface gets eroded out, right, then I will say it is not hard. But if I apply if I scratch the surface and if it doesn't get eroded, there are no marks on the surface, I will say that it is hard, right? So that is basically a hardness, or you can say the abrasion resistance. Okay. Now water absorption ratio, your aggregate should not absorb a lot of water, because if it will absorb a lot of water, it will hamper the water cement ratio, right? So these are the properties of aggregates which are used in concrete. Okay. So now in this video we have discussed about aggregates, the type of aggregates used, okay, and the properties of aggregates which are used in concrete. Okay, all this portion was theoretical portion. Okay. Now one more important thing, I told you that in this video I will also be explaining a little bit about water, right? You know that to make a cement paste without water it is not possible, right? So we also need water. IS code IS 456/2000 has given a lot of recommendations regarding water, but only one recommendation is important, which is asked a lot of times, that the pH of water. So the pH of water which is used for concreting purpose, it should not be greater than 6. It should not be greater than 6. So this was important, right? As far as the admixtures are concerned, so what are admixtures? Admixtures are those substances or those chemicals which are added in cement concrete to enhance the properties, right? They can be super plasticizer, they can be water entraining agents. A lot of admixtures are there, right? These are not important as far as the gate point of view is concerned. In concrete structures, you will be studying in detail about the admixtures when you will be studying about the building materials, right? There you will study about cement. In cement, you will be studying in detail about what type of admixtures you have. Okay. So this was all about this video. In next video, I will be discussing about the properties of concrete. Okay, that is very important. Now your actually the syllabus has started, right? The properties of concrete as per the IS 456/2000. The properties of concrete. Okay, the properties of concrete, the various formulae and some numerical based on these formulae, the previous are gated numericals also. Okay, so we will meet in the next video. Till then, you just revise it, pause the video, take down the notes, revise it, and let us meet at the next video, right?